Hey, welcome to my video. You're catching me either on my YouTube channel, True Divine 44, or my Facebook page, True Divine 44. Like, share, subscribes and comments are greatly appreciated, and they do help me out. So please do that and check out the videos. I'm putting out as many videos, mostly about tarot, but I will be putting out some just general chats of my knowings to help support, guide and inspire and show what I do. You can always support me by having a private reading and contacting me for that, or any energy work that supports what I do also. And thank you to all of the new clients that I've been receiving. It's much love to all of you. I thank you greatly. It helps me support my family. So check out what I do. If you like it, hang around. If you don't, that's fine. I wish you well. So I'm putting out as many free readings, like I said, as I can, just to the general public. Because they're general, some of it might resonate with you some days, some of it might not. It might all resonate with you, it might all not. Take what helps, leave the rest behind for somebody else to take. So this is a daily energy read where I pick up on the collective energies that I feel around me, translate those via tarot and bring them to you. So the first card for the 22nd of March 2020 is the Two of Cups. It's a beautiful card. This is balance and harmony, representing the within, the divine feminine and divine masculine that is found within everybody, male or female, and your best to enable them, because they help you live a more harmonic, a more balanced life, because you can dip into the attributes of both in everything that you do to get the best out of every situation, every endeavor, every creative project. So this is representing the fact that I think after the initial shock of what's been going on around the world lately, a lot of people are coming into balance. It's like they're realizing the worst possible scenarios, and they've gone within and sort of to self-soothe almost enabled this divine feminine and divine masculine balance. There's been action taken to help others, you know, with that beautiful divine masculine being the person, the divinity that goes into action, makes things happen. And then there's been lots of intuitive messages put out there that I've seen that really dip into the divine feminine, that nurturing, caring, intuitive side. So, you know, that's exactly what we need to counteract what is going on right now. That's exactly what we need to be putting in place. Outside of self, it represents good friendships, a lot of old friendships with old friends that maybe you've forgotten or lost along the way, or, you know, coming up, and because of this isolation, people are making the best out of it and reconnecting, you know, via the internet, via phone calls. And that's a beautiful thing, because that's building support, which is a great energy to put out there, that understanding, that support, that compassion. There's also new friendships blossoming lots today, in that, you know, especially because of what is going on. People are reaching out, people are seeing the good in others and being drawn to it. And that is an embryonic lifetime friendship building for a lot of people. Again, building worldwide community, worldwide understanding and support. Like I said before, after this initial impact and shock of worldwide issues right now, it seems people have realized that, you know, well, there's not too much we can do outside, because, you know, we're being asked to isolate, we're being asked to lock ourselves away, we're being asked to not have any close contact, not have any big gatherings. A lot of countries around the world are on complete lockdown. So, you know, there's that initial impact, that initial shock seems to have subsided, in that people have found comfort, people have found power going within and activating the divine masculine and divine feminine to help manage the situation from within. And that's exactly where we need to be going, because that reverberates out, i.e. you go within with this card, you balance these two aspects of self out, and what are you doing then? You're emitting connections, friendships, partnerships, building community, building support. And one great thing that we can take from this, and we do need to extract as many good things as we can right now, is that, you know, no matter what ideals or belief systems, there's many people recognizing that we're all human, and this, whatever it is, shows most how connected we are. Connected so much that something could spread so rapidly and in so many different ways. So that's the physical representation of how connected we are. This card is the beginning, I feel today, of the understanding of how spiritually connected we all are. That everything is connected to everything. And if there's one lesson we can take from today going forward, is that no matter what walk of life, no matter what belief systems, as long as others don't want to hurt people, animals, things outside of self, then it's okay to just agree to disagree. But for the greater good, the things that will affect everybody if not done right or not done at all, that's where we come together. That's where we agree. That's where we are friends. That's where we are brothers and sisters, connected to the all, and the all connected to us. So putting out this energy today of friendship, of partnership, of love, is a perfect energy to be emitting. So do it exponentially today. Do whatever you can to reach out to whoever you can to show them this side of you, this balanced side of you, this side of you that wants to create harmony within you and within others and within all things. It's so important and so powerful. So to clarify this card, the Two of Cups, we have the Page of Swords and the Messenger. Now this Page of Swords is very intelligent. He sees through bullshit very, very easily. And he's very connected in that he promotes good communication, open, honest communication. So where is the Messenger? Clarifying this friendship and partnership card, you know, it's speaking truth to one another, speaking true feelings to one another. You know, what have we got to lose? Now or never, right? Tell people how you feel. Tell people that you love them. And it's this, he's not afraid to have open, honest dialogue. And that's what we need most right now, open, honest dialogue. He doesn't exaggerate, he doesn't promote fear, but yet at the same time he is straightforward, intellectual, straight down the line, and he can see through things. So it's just as a very, very small warning in the background of this card for me today, is that while most of these two cards combined for today mean that you will be having open, honest dialogue that uplifts you and makes you feel better, enable the energy of this Page of Swords today also to decipher and filter through things that would just want to cause you fear, that would just want to break you down and hold you down a little bit. Just as a side note, take that and remember that in your communications today. So the second card being the Six of Cups. So another Cups card. So this is reminiscing, looking back to the old days, looking back to the old ways. And for a lot of people it feels like a lifetime away today, that it feels like it was so long ago when they were children and how they used to be brought up and the value systems they had. But on a positive note, like I was saying before, there's lots of good being shown throughout all of this chaos, in that there's old traditions, or what people would say are old traditions of respect, and reciprocity and kindness and generosity, particularly to elders. They might not get the same amount of coverage as the negative, but there's lots of energy today of young minds, young hearts, absolutely going back to that old way of respecting the elders, looking after the elders, and that needs to be recognised. And I think if we could work together to promote the good things that I've been seeing really young people doing to help out the more vulnerable, to help out the elders, wouldn't that be great if that was flooded around the world, rather than the people who absolutely are putting out videos there that don't respect the old ways, that don't show any respect to elders or anyone for that matter. So to reminisce, yes, but we can't live in the past. Although lots of times it's tempting to yearn to go back to the past, to yearn to do things differently. We can't. But we can extract the good from the past, the things that we've learnt, the respect that we were taught as children to have for elders, and we can bring that into our present day. We can remember those valuable lessons that elders, parents, aunts, uncles, friends taught us in our past, and extract those and bring those back into present day to help the current circumstances. But although we can't live in the past, it's important to have a connection to the past, because it's what individually and collectively has built us up to where we are present day. Somewhere along the way, we forgot to have that open, honest dialogue with each other. We forgot to continue to build community, to not isolate ourselves. And now there's imposed isolation, or voluntary isolation, but it's not really voluntary because it's done out of fear, so imposed isolation nevertheless. Now we're harking back to the good old days when there was a community and a youngster would go and get an elder's paper for them, or like me, I would walk the streets of where I live with my granddad, because he always did a lot of community work, and I live in the same place now as I did when I walked the streets with him, doing that good work. So, but now it's as if we voluntarily throughout the years sort of dropped that community, dropped that that connectedness to the people around us, the immediate community around us, and now it's funny in a way that now that there's imposed isolation, everybody, or a lot of people, if I correct that, a lot of people are looking back to the good old days, the way that it was and stuff. But if we look back, maybe 2 months ago, 3 months ago, did you speak to your neighbour enough? Did you send your kids to go and get a newspaper for an elder? And I know many of you would, but on the whole, we live very isolated lives, and we lived mostly connected to people via the internet, via social media, which is fine, used in the right way, is fabulous. But we lost our way in not staying connected face to face. Now that we're not shaking hands and people are afraid to hug, Now more than ever, it becomes so apparent how important that is to the core of us, to have that touch, that gentleness, you know, to exchange energy through a touch, through a glance, through words, to exchange kindness by doing something for somebody in your community. And we need to, when all this is said and done, take time. This, you know, this card is clarified by the Four of Swords, which indicates rest, recuperation after illness, ironically, a time to meditate, time to relax and contemplate. So this is exactly what we're doing. We're being forced to isolate, being forced to be cut away from others, and we're being forced to look to the past and look at the things that did work, that were good, that kept us connected. So when all's said and done, when this is all past, when this is all over, and who knows when that will be, and sometimes it's difficult to remember things, to remember how much we actually were hurting when we were cut off from that physical contact, from those physical kindnesses that we were doing or that were done in the past. We need to remember this. We need to imprint this on our memory, the energy today of reminiscing about the past and that connectedness that we had. And we need to remember how important it feels right now to us, so that that feeling doesn't subside when this is all said and done. So that when we've seen through this storm, that we don't forget this feeling, that we don't forget how this felt, and how we were able to recognize the importance of community, the importance of being able to trust others in the community, being able to look after each other's kids even in the community, to not rely so much on outside forces, to not rely so much on government, to not rely so much on those that will fail us as soon as look at us if it serves them, but to rely on each other, to recognize each other, to recognize that you're connected to me, I'm connected to you, he's connected to her, she's connected to him, that there's a dependency there that we forgot to take care of and nurture and love and respect and keep. So the main message for today for me out of all of this reading is to remember this when this is all said and done, to remember how this imposed isolation made us look back and recognise how important a hug was, how important a smile is, how important it is to do something as simple as go and get a newspaper for an elderly neighbour. That's one of the real good things that will serve us so well collectively and individually in the future when this is all said and done. When the dust settles, remember this. Remember how important it felt. There's that saying coming to mind, if you don't know what you've got till it's gone. Well, this kind of community went a long time ago, because we've been living in isolation really for a long time, living through a lens, and which is fair enough. Like I said, that's good when it's used properly and in balance. But you know, we forgot a long time ago how important it was to have a strong community, a tribe, people you could rely on, people you could trust, people that you could share with, good and bad times. So I'm just going to reiterate once more that this is an important message and a real good message to carry forward, to not get complacent again when this is all over, when this storm settles, and it will. to not be complacent about the relationships that we've been building while in isolation. To remember how important it is to have that physical touch, those physical kindnesses, that connectedness to all and all things. Sorry, ran over. So the third card being the Six of Pentacles, and the Six of Pentacles representing, it's kept coming up, hasn't it? Generosity, reciprocity. The important message with this card is that, just like I've been ranting on about this, the two second cards, is that it's very important to have this generosity, this reciprocity, this giving nature, this charitable nature. But again, you have to go back to the first two cards. There has to be a balance. Make sure you're taking time out with this Four of Swords to, while you've actually got the time to for once, to really rest, Have you know, cleansing baths that are ceremonial to replenish you. Put your candles on. Do things that make you feel, you know, that kind of release. Because while it's important to have this generosity and this giving nature, it's no good doing that to the point where you're empty on the inside, that you've given too much, that you've given more than you've given yourself time to rest and recuperate from. So have the wisdom to know that when you're able to give and what you're able to give, and balance it out with what you're able to replenish self with. And always value the relationships within your life that represent this reciprocity, i.e. you give to them and they'll give back to you. There's that constant feedback all of the time. There's no take and give. It's give and take. And value those relationships the most. Where you might have took them for granted in the past, right now a lot of people today are feeling like, wow, I'm so glad I know you. I'm so glad I've got you in my life. And I'm so lucky myself that I've made connections with people, old friends and new, that I just love, I adore, and I love who they are. I love the differences that we have. And I love the fact that I know I can guarantee, and that was more rare before actually this all occurred worldwide. I can guarantee that these many people that are in my life right now will have my six. They'll have my back and I'll have theirs no matter what. So there's beauty in the relationships that are building right now and the generosity that's building right now. But that huge side note is that always balance it out with knowing that you are giving to the right person or the right things, and balancing that out with rest, recuperation and replenishment of self. To clarify the Six of Coins, we have the Empress. So the Empress, you know, is it's just the divine feminine connected with Venus. She represents the fertility, pregnancy, love, intuition, compassion. She is the ultimate divine feminine. And so she's the nurturer, she's the giver. But again, she has the intuition to know when to give and when to replenish. She is represented by beauty, not just physical beauty and physical adornments, but within, having that beautiful soul, having that beautiful energy of giving, of nurturing, of compassion and intuition, all of those things. She manifests the harmony of the three. She also knows when to just give time and space to things. She brings that wusa moment. She gives that reassurance that this too shall pass. She's the motherly energy that gives that good advice, that lasts through lifetimes, that could jump timelines and still be very apparent and very worthy of standing by. So know that you're supported through this time. Know that people are coming together. People are remembering what it was like to be a community, to keep each other, hold space and time for each other, to help each other. This divine feminine energy is underneath universally around all of us now. And although it might not feel like it, if you look for it in this physical reality, you will see it. You'll recognize it. You'll recognize it in that giving, nurturing, loving nature that people are putting out there, that people are giving. So they're beautiful cards for today. On the bottom of the deck, we have another feminine card, and it's the water princess, the Page of Cups, basically, in the traditional deck. So, you know, she's that very childlike nature. Again, very open with her emotions, very honest with her emotions. And I really feel today like everybody's just thrown the cards up in the air and thought, well, it's time to be honest, it's time to talk, it's time because everybody's feeling the same way. So it's breaking down those barriers that were previously there. So there's lots of good to extract today on the 22nd of March. There's lots of wholeness, goodness, and compassion to extract from today if you look for it. So go look for it. Go build those relationships. Build up yourself. Balance those divinities out within, that divine feminine and divine masculine within, and you'll be okay. So I'm sending you all much, much love, appreciation and respect. Again, if you'd like a private reading, just hit me up either via Facebook Messenger or any of the contact details above or below this video, depending on where you're catching it, on which platform. Be balanced and be whole in all things you do. Much love. Catch you soon. Bye.